Bây giờ, xin mời quý vị cùng theo dõi phần 34 của buổi hội thảo tựa đề Đại hội Trường Chay Trung Đông hoặc MEVEG lần thứ nhất được tổ chức tại thành phố Dubai thuộc các tiểu vương quốc Ả Rập Thống Nhất vào ngày 7 tháng 12 năm 2010 với Anastasia. Trường Chay sẽ giải thích tầm quan trọng của việc chúng ta tự thực hiện nghiên cứu liên quan đến chế độ ăn uống.
We do have the instinct to trust authority figures, such as experts or our parents, our husbands, our wives, whatever. We have the instinct to trust them without even questioning it. I'm not saying, rise up, let's, riot, but have a little doubt about what you're hearing. Does it make sense? We tend to take things for granted, and something that's get told to us. I mean, I'm standing here telling you something and you're going, okay, yeah, she's got a point. Chances are you're gonna walk out of there and say, okay, moving on, this is what I heard, this is what she said. But you're not gonna double check my information. You should. You should double check information of everything that you hear. It's like being a journalist. I'm studying to be a journalist, and if we've been taught one thing, is that sources have to be double-checked. If you find one reference, fair enough, that's good. But if you find another reference that confirms the first reference, that's even better. But based on that, if you find a lot of information out there, it can get confusing. But if it gets confusing, this is why you have to think, you have to analyze the information, and you have to think, make a decision based on what's right for you. Because your doctor, to be honest, does your doctor really care about your health? Once he gives you a prescription, that's it, you're out of there. He's got 100, if not more, other patients other than you. So the burden is on the individual to make sure that whatever is entering his or her body is good for his or her body. It goes for everything, creams, vitamins, tablets, whatever. Before, it was very hard to actually do research. Considerably harder anyway, because before, what did you have? I mean, it was very time-consuming and expensive because you didn't have the internet. I don't know how people lived without the internet. I'm joking, I'm not that young. Before, you had books. You had to go to a library, you had to leaf through books, you had to talk to a librarian, you had experts, you had journals, and you had experts to talk to. Now, the world is actually at your fingertips because you've got the internet. Of course, the internet is not necessarily just a good thing or just a bad thing. It's a bit of both. More on that a little bit later, but the internet gave rise to participatory culture, which is one of Henry Jenkins' theories. He talks about how we tend to talk to each other on the internet. We tend to communicate with each other. We tend to share our opinions. Now we've got websites, we've got blogs, forums, we've got a lot of stuff. All of us have an opinion, and with the internet and technology, we can have the opinion. With internet and technology, anybody who has a bad experience in life, they can share it online. Her experience, she was bedridden with arthritis until she switched diets. She can go online and even write a blog about it. Somebody else who has arthritis can possibly find that blog and say, look at that. That's a reference. And in my opinion, that's a reference far more valuable than the reference of a nutritionist or an expert who has been taught by a textbook. I'm not saying don't trust experts, don't trust nutritionists, but an opinion of somebody who has gone through the experience is no less valuable than an opinion of somebody who's been taught by a textbook. Unfortunately, quite a lot of us tend to trust the experts and think, well, who's that little person talking about stuff? I mean, I'm sure if I was a PhD, a lot more people would be listening to me now. And some useful links here. Every diet, this is where I got the list of over 400 diets. This site, everydiet.org, lists, as the site says, every diet, but it lists the pros, the cons, the side effects, etc. It's built up by two professionals. One is a nutritionist. Their aim is to actually build up a database of basically diets so that people like you and I, we can go on there and we can research the diets in one place. And we can also send comments and reviews of specific diets as well. Has the diet helped you? Has the diet not helped you? Wikipedia. Probably not a good thing if you are in the education field, but come on, most of us can admit that we've at least used Wikipedia as a starting point. Because Wikipedia, they do have references at the end of the article. You can read the Wikipedia info for yourself, and you can also scroll down to the references and have a look at the references and follow the links. Follow the yellow brick road, as the saying goes. Additives 2 is an iPhone app. You go out, you show up, you have your phone with you. This is an app that has all the e-numbers, the ingredients and everything built in within the app. So whenever you're looking on the shelf for a product, you can just go, let's see. Yeah, that's safe for vegetarians. No, it's not. Okay, that might cause cancer. That might cause asthma or whatever. Memorizing things and trusting people with whatever they say has always been a problem with the education system as well, because since early childhood, we've all been taught to memorize. Memorize the table, memorize the poem, memorize whatever. But why is it we can't question things? Because after all, it is your health on the line. It's not their health. It's your thing. It's your body. That's why, as a vegetarian, whenever I'm out with my meat-eating friends, some of them don't know I'm vegetarian until I order something to eat. And even then, they're not sure. But if they ask, it's like, you're vegetarian? Why? Why didn't you eat meat? Meat is good for you. I'm like, it's my body. I don't want to hurt it any more than I already did by eating meat in my childhood. Because I switched diets more than a decade ago. When I first came here, my health wasn't that brilliant. My hair was falling out pretty much because I was born in Ukraine, about less than 100 kilometers away from Chernobyl. Of course, the internet superhighway is a bit confusing. Not necessarily a good thing either, but information overload. Just by Googling something, you're going, oh my God, it found 800,000 billion search results for the word diet. I don't have time to look through all that. That's why I'm not suggesting Google as a primary point of search in the first place. Fraudsters and fake info, credibility. That's another thing, because with the internet, there's been a lot of information posted online that, you don't know where the information comes from. Even when you're reading something, you're not sure if the thing that has been written is by a doctor, is it really by a friend? If she would have posted the note about her health issues online, people might have been wondering, well, maybe she's just making it up to make sure that, okay, diets is a good thing. I have to go vegetarian. So you have to be careful of that as well. And how can you be careful of that? Is research, more research. If you can verify the source, if you can verify the first source, that's it. At the end of the day, it's your body and it's your health. Nobody else answers. You cannot blame anybody else for your health issues. It's your body, your health. You take the responsibility. Do not put the responsibility on your doctor or your nutritionist or whoever else. Research is all about balancing the two sides of the story. Sometimes more sides of the story, balancing the information. Analyze the data. Once you've got the data, you analyze it, you think about it, you discuss it with your friends, you discuss it with your family. Is it something that maybe we want to do? No? Okay, why not? Because the more you analyze information, the more it makes sense to you. If you just listen in like a sponge and then walk away, it's not going to help that much. And at the end of the day, this is all about being informed. Why are we all here at the MEVEG Congress? Why are you guys here? Especially the non-vegetarians. Have you got any non-vegetarians here? Hands up. Okay, why are you here?
Hi. I'm here predominantly because for the extended periods of time that I have gone vegetarian, I've seen very clear, tangible effect on my digestion, on my sleep, on just the way I relate to the external environment, and also how I feel about myself. So I don't need convincing. It's just a journey I'm on.
So there you go. Isn't this research? What you're doing now, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to finish this by basically saying, by keeping and spreading vigilance and awareness of everything around us, by preserving just a single moment of doubt before giving in to what we're hearing, by keeping our eyes open to propaganda and manipulation in all its forms, by taking in the transmission and retelling it anew, we perform our part of the signal, our part of the alchemy, and ensure that the signal never stops.
Thank you so much.
Time for questions?
I always believed that animals were sentient and emotional beings and had as much right to live freely and happily as we do. Kuntal Joysher, vegan.